Would you say I have a reasonable understanding of how to execute these various sex acts properly?
Yes.
How awesome is that? What you're doing is disgusting. Listen, lady.
Well, well, well. Merry Christmas, everybody, first of all. It is a lovely day here in Portugal. To everyone who is tuning in, first, thank you for joining me. If you're on the west coast of America, it's good morning to you. If you're on the east coast, good happy lunchtime, I guess. Tucking into some delicious food whilst you're tuning into this, perhaps. Of course, if you're everywhere else in the world, like in Europe where I am right now, I hope you're enjoying a lovely meal with your family. If you're not doing any of those things, however, now is a good time to find out about my brand new video course, which is premiering today. And I'm going to give you guys some preview clips, some teasers from it. You can get some free footage. And you'll see what all the fuss is about. I've been working on this for the last couple of months. I'm very excited, very proud of it. And I think you guys you'll be quite happy when you see some of this footage. But first of all, let's say hello to everyone here. DN, Merry Christmas, everyone. Demon Arc, Merry Christmas to you. Rewatching all my stuff, thank you very much. I'm glad to hear it. Look, now that we're not live streaming 7 days a week, it's good. You guys have a chance to go back and watch any of the older videos that you weren't able to catch live or you weren't able to keep up with. And now, of course, we're dropping some bite-sized, smaller, shorter content in the middle of the week, which is easy to catch up on, easy to see, easy to absorb. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos of my travels in Europe thus far. They are quite fun. We've got some really juicy ones coming up for you guys. They are a few weeks behind, however. So, for those, I think someone left a comment on the video from when I was in the UK that dropped on Wednesday. Someone left a comment saying, "How on earth did you get into the UK?" Well, it's because that was filmed about 3 weeks ago. That's how I got into the UK. Now, I am not in the UK. Now, I am in Portugal, and it is lovely here. So I have escaped the tyranny that is the tier 99 lockdown or whatever that is going on in the UK right now, and I'm a free man, and I'm very happy to be so. Who else we got in the chat today? Davina, Merry Christmas, as always. Rage Guy, Malay Kalikama. I'm not even sure what that means. I hope I didn't just insult everybody in a foreign language. Natney, good to see you. I've moved into the kitchen because the light in here is way, way better. So you can actually see me now. The living room here, for some reason, is just lit like it's a gentleman's club or something. It's extremely dimly lit. They're what I used to call the ugly lights. You know what, like in a nightclub or like a lounge bar where the lights are so dim. They're just bright enough so you can see people, but they're dim enough so you can't tell if someone's really ugly or not. They're the ugly lights. That's what we've got in the living room here. The kitchen lights, however, are not ugly lights. These are actually quite well lit. So I apologize if it's a bit echoey, but this is the best solution I have found. My LED light blew up. I nearly set my electronics on fire this morning. That was a fantastic experience. So I escaped without a mark. Muhammad Alam, where'd you go? Best actor in porn. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. We'll see if I win that award in January with the AVN Awards going on. That's what I'm nominated for. And a Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Greg is loving my older videos. Thank you very much for watching the back catalogue, Greg. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Everyone is welcome here, of course. And Merry Christmas. Shozan, Merry Christmas. Brandon Daniels, Merry Christmas. Ryan Christensen, Hypnosis of Men, original member of the Bin Chicken, the League of Extraordinary Bin Chickens. Welcome to the chat. We haven't mentioned Bin Chickens in a while. You guys haven't been dropping the emojis in the chat. For anyone who's new, the name of my chat is the League of Extraordinary Bin Chickens. Don't ask me why it's called that. It was just an inside joke that I developed on one of my earlier live streams, and now I'm sticking with it. So feel free to drop the bin chicken emojis in the chat. Oh, well, there you go. That is Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. Missionaries tried to teach them Merry Christmas. That's what came out of their mouths. Huh. Thank you for that tidbit. Thank you for that tidbit. Merry Christmas to you too, Thor. Very good to see you. Good morning to you, Viking brother. Morning where you are, of course. Not where I am. I'm loving this. See, look how much better I look in this light compared to in that living room Bordeaux light. It's so much better here, even if it is slightly echoey. But if I hush very quietly, then we can get away with that. Anyway, let me dive in to my Lemmy Nelson. Good to see you in the chat as everyone is jumping in, joining us. Allow me to introduce you to my brand new video course that has just been dropped on my Gumroad. It is available for pre-order right now. If you order in the next week, so let me I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me give you a quick. Let me show you very quickly what I'm talking about exactly. This is the video course, Sexual Dominance Escalation. It is 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours of real life demo footage and video breakdowns going over about 80 plus different sexual techniques. Not sex positions, sexual techniques. Very, very specifically a different thing. I do also cover some sex positions, of course, in there. But 5.5 hours plus of 80 plus different sexual techniques I go over in this brand new video course. It took me several months to put all this together. I'm extremely proud of it. The few people who have had a chance to preview this, a few friends of mine have had a chance to preview this. They're blown away by the quality of it. They're blown away that a porn star could put together something like this, something as educational and informative as this. You're welcome. And I've had a couple of people so there was a couple of lads, actually more than a couple, who bought their Rule Zero online conference tickets from me. The people who purchased that from me earlier in the year actually got access to this course. That was part of my deal for people who bought that conference ticket off me. You got access to this course for free. They have access to it now. They've had a look through it. They've given me some reviews, and I'm going to be showing you some of those reviews in a minute. Needless to say, they were very, very pleased with it. So in this video course, you get, like I said, a variety of different sexual technique breakdowns. Now, as bonus, let me go over first of all, I'm very excited about this, as if you can't already tell. Let me just detail some of the things that I cover in this course. So basically, the entire concept behind this course was actually an idea that Rollo Tomasi gave me, of all people. So he came to me with this idea. He said, "You know what, Stirling? The problem with some guys, is that as soon as they hear that they need to be more dominant in the bedroom, they try to go from 0 to 100 straight away. So they start off as this very tame, vanilla, not dominant, not in control, not leading guy in the bedroom. And they hear they need to be more dominant, so they're like, oh, okay, great. And they try to, like, I don't know, slap a bitch or choke a bitch or throw her around, like, straight away. They try to go from one end of the spectrum to the other right off the bat. And he said to me, you know what's what would be nice is if someone could teach these guys how to baby step it, how to go from 0 to say 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and then they can eventually get to where they want to be. And then a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, I can teach guys how to do that. I know exactly how to do that. That's been part of my job for the better part of the last decade. Has been doing exactly that for myself. Working, for those of you who might be unfamiliar with my background, if you're new to this channel, so not only have I worked in the adult entertainment industry for the last, now it is the last 4 years. Prior to that, for 3 years, I was working as a straight male escort. You could call me a high-class male companion back in Australia. And then prior to that, I was in the swinging scene as a single guy. So I've had a tremendous amount of experience over the better part of the last decade with learning the ins and outs of the female body. So learning what buttons to push, learning how to read a woman's body language when she's compliant or non-compliant to various sex acts. And so I thought to myself, well, this is definitely something that guys should be learning. This is absolutely, especially in today's sexual marketplace. Because here's the reason. As most of you are aware, 80% of the dudes, sorry, say that again, 20% of the dudes are having 80% of the sex out there, right? This is sort of the 80-20 rule applied to sexual dynamics right now. And this is sort of exacerbated by things like Instagram, social media, clout, right? The average guy isn't getting access to as many women as, say, a minor celebrity might be, or a high-value guy, as we would say. So, what does that mean? Well, where I come from, in my background, it isn't very hard with my background, it has never been very hard to retain a woman. And this is something that happens to a lot of guys these days. They go on these dates, they get the girls off Tinder, and they're like, oh, she was great, but she didn't call me back. Or she was great, but I couldn't keep her around. Or I only had this one chance to sort of get somewhat intimate with her, and then it fizzled out and didn't go anywhere. And this, my friends, is where I can help. Because the stuff I teach in this video course covers two sides of this coin. This concept of sexual escalation. So let me break this down into two different parts, right? So there's pre-sex sexual escalation. So this is what used to be called back in the old PUA scene as like Keno, right? So you take a girl home, right? So you've charmed a girl at the bar, things are going fine. It's a good witty banter, there's a good vibe, right? You get her back to your place. A lot of guys don't really know how to go from there to the bedroom. They get nervous, they're uncomfortable, a bit unsure of themselves. They don't really know what moves to make to ensure that things smoothly transition into a sexual scenario. So that's the first side of the coin. And in this video course, the first quarter of this entire video course is dedicated to things that can help you with that. A bunch of different techniques, a bunch of different strategies, a bunch of different things you can apply once you bring a girl home from a date that can lead very naturally, very congruently, can lead to initiating sex. Right. And the second side of this coin is once you've already put it in, right, once there is already some kind of a sexual dynamic between you and a girl, the other half of the coin of sexual escalation is where do you take that sexual experience, right? So what this means is you can think of it as in terms of how compliant is she to you in the bedroom? What kind of kinky, dirty, nasty things can you do with her in the bedroom? Now, some guys will say that, oh, only good girls do this sort of stuff. Only good girls do, say, BDSM. Only good girls. That's completely opposite. Only bad girls, only naughty girls, only sluts do BDSM. Only sluts do anal. Only bad girls do XYZ thing. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. Through experience, I'm here to tell you that any girl can be open to the idea, or opened to the idea, of things like anal sex, of things like BDSM, of various more extreme, kinky, perverted acts. But you need to know how to escalate it, how to escalate that sexual interaction, either in one sex session or over the course of several sex sessions. You need to know how to escalate that to your endpoint, to the goal, to the place where you want it to be. Okay? So in this video course, what I do is I took Rollo Tomasi's question. You know, how could you teach a guy? How can you baby step a guy from being very vanilla in the bedroom to being more dominant and more alpha in the bedroom? Basically, taking him from being the beta bucks guy to being the alpha fucks guy. Because this is the thing, guys. If you give a woman a sexual experience she's never had before, if you give a woman a type of orgasm she's never had before, if you show a girl how to submit in a way that she's never submitted before, I guarantee you will be the best sex she's ever had. By default, it's inevitable. If you give her something she's never had before, that makes you the best sex she's ever had. So here's the problem with girls who, say, sleep around quite a lot, is that they're very easily alpha widowed, to borrow a phrase from Rollo Tomasi, right? So girls will sleep around a lot, and they'll have a taste of a really high value alpha guy, or they'll have a taste of a very, very dominant sexual guy, and he's the best experience she's had. And then the problem is that she wasn't able to keep him around, and so she keeps searching, she keeps sleeping around, she keeps searching for something that is close to that. But she can't find it, right? So that's why she might be flaky. That's why she might be promiscuous in a relationship, because she can't find that top tier dick that she got way back in the day. She can't replace it. So when you're a guy who can take a woman and give her something she's never had before, you immediately are shot up the ladder in terms of her sexual experience, in terms of her sexual partner. You're immediately at the top of that thing. So by default, right? Even if you're a guy who isn't, even if you don't have, the biggest income, even if you don't have the biggest status, and I know this because I've been that guy, even back in my early 20s. There was numerous examples in my early 20s, right, where I was attracting women. I was basically what you would call a what's the male equivalent of a sugar baby? Like, I had sugar mamas who weren't really that much old, who were like maybe 1 or 2 years older than me, but they were like daddy's little girl. Daddy was rich, so they were like trust fund kids or whatever. And then I'd seduce them. Young guy in my 20s, didn't really have much money saved up yet, didn't have much status saved up yet, but they would cheat on their fiancés who were high value, high status guys because I gave them better dick. I'm not really proud of that fact. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be doing it now, but it just goes to show, it's evidence of this concept that I'm talking about, which is if you can rock a girl's world, you're immediately at the top of her fuck it list, shall we say. And guys in this space talk about this dynamic of alpha fucks beta bucks all the time, and this is how you become the alpha fucks guy. This is how, because people will always point out examples of dudes who are very alpha, right? They get the girls, but they're not really successful. They're these like anomalies. People are like, how the hell is this guy getting all these chicks? Why are all these girls gravitating towards this dude? Like, he's a bum. Maybe he's like a poor musician, a poor artist or something, right? He's got like very little status, like no money. He doesn't even look that good. How the hell is this guy getting girls around and retaining girls? And then all the girls are talking about him. Well, part of that is game. And the other big part of that is he rocks their world in the bedroom, and then they keep coming back to him. And you better fucking believe that girls talk about dudes when they're good in bed. Girls will talk about you behind your back to their friends, especially especially if you're good in bed, they will brag about you. This happens all the time. I can guarantee it. Not just in my industry, but with regular civilian girls as well. This happens all the time. So, in this new video course I put together, what I do is I've basically created a scale from 0 to 100. 0 being very, very tame, very, very vanilla stuff. And we're starting out with some stuff that is even pre-sex escalation techniques, something that any guy can apply. And then gradually, as we progress through this scale to 100, we're getting up to things that are basically extremely dominant, and there's 4 different layers that I'm progressing guys through on this scale. So there's being leading/controlling, right? So just being in charge of the situation and dictating things. There's being physically overpowering, right? So being able to be stronger than her, move her around, right? So the controlling, leading thing is like telling her what to do, right? The physical dominance is actually moving her around. The third layer to this is the degrading layer. So getting her to do things that are a bit more kinky, a bit more naughty, a bit more dirty. And then the fourth layer is being sadistic, if we're being perfectly honest. So this starts going into the realm of BDSM, right? Where you're giving pleasure through pain. Right, you're not hurting a girl, but you're doing things. Like a perfect example would be something like spanking, right? Where you're doing things that would normally be considered painful, but in a sexual context, executed correctly with correct technique, which I demonstrate in this video course, you're able to induce pleasure through these acts. So this whole video course, well, actually, the first chunk of this video course, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I get into in this whole thing. This first chunk of this video course is about that. It's about baby stepping guys from 0 to 100. So no matter where you are on this scale, say you're a very, very inexperienced guy, maybe you might be a guy who's got some bedroom experience. You just sort of reached a point where you've kind of haven't learnt any more. I guarantee there is stuff in this video course for guys who have hundreds of lays. And I know this because I've shown this video course to my friends who have 200, 300, 400 lays under their belt, and they watch it, and they see shit they haven't seen before. So, I know what the hell I'm talking about. But that's the first kind of third of this whole video course. And over the next 2 live streams, so I'll be showing even more example. I'm going to show some example footage of it today because I'm really excited for you guys to see what this course looks like. You're going to get a brief preview. But on Monday's live stream and on Friday's live stream next week as well, I'm going to show even more demo footage. So keep tuning in, keep watching this show. I'm going to show you a ton of stuff from this video course. And if you want to get this on pre-order right now, it is on 50% off until January 3rd. January 3rd, it is released and the price goes up. So right now it is $398. On January 3rd, the price goes up to $799 and it will not go down again. So make sure, if you're a bit strapped for cash, if you want to get your hands on this first, get it now before the price jumps up on January the 3rd. And like I said, you've got 3 live streams of me giving you demo footage, showing you exactly what's in the course. So you get a really good taste of what I'm going to be going through. But first of all, I'm going to catch up with the chat, just in case there's any cool questions in here. And then I'm going to go through and show you guys these demo clips. Now, this is a fair way back. Simply Balling, Merry Christmas, good to see you again. I'll come back to your question, Simply Balling, just because I want to get through some of the stuff. Luke Darren, good to see you. Cesar Payeras, good to see you. Kevin K. Thank you, sir. I'm so proud of this. You do not understand how, because here's the funny thing. So I finished basically assembling this course back in, when did I finish assembling it all? Middle mid-November, I basically finished it. And over the last month, I've been sort of preparing the sales material, preparing the teasers, preparing... I'd filmed it and I'd been stitching it together, like editing it all together. And obviously I've been traveling the last 3 weeks as well. And then when I sat down this week to sort of finalize the launch and looked over the material again, I was like, damn, I am very happy with what I have put together. There is nothing like this on the internet. This is, I will catch up with this chat. I'm gonna hammer home one more point here. This is the world's first no bullshit sex education course for men. Zero bullshit here. I need to tell you guys, there is real sex in this video course. Like, hardcore. Like, I'm not blurring anything. I'm not drawing diagrams on a whiteboard. I'm actually having sex, performing sex acts, and explaining them to you as they're happening. So you don't want to watch this in the library. Let's just say that much. Probably watch it in the privacy of your own home, with headphones in or something. Don't watch it on the tube with everyone around you. You'll get me into trouble, probably. But thank you, Kevin. I am very, very proud of this. Dimu, good to see you in the chat. JD, good to see you in the chat. Stirling Bin Chicken Gang, it's good to see you guys back again. I want to see more of those bin chickens in the chat. You are banned. Thank you very much for the kind words here. I bought your first book 1/3 of the way through, 100% worth the $100. $400 for this. This is that you're getting way more than $400 worth of value here. Trust me. Pressed enter too soon. Maybe later I'll only make $20 as a machine operator. So where we get to. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned this. Yilmaz, the true G-spot is in a woman's brain/mind. Well, as a matter of fact, one of the third module of this course, I do 3 things. I was going to talk about this on Monday, but you brought it up, so I'm going to talk about it now. I break down the external, for those guys who are a bit more inexperienced with the female body. Like I said, this course isn't just for newbies, it's for guys all along the spectrum. But if you happen to be a newbie, then I break this down for you, so it's impossible for you to not understand this stuff. But in the third module of this course, what I do is I actually go over the external anatomy of a woman's private parts. I go over the internal anatomy of a woman's private parts, showing you all the secret spots to hit. And the third thing I do is I go over the actual nervous system interactions of the various orgasms that a woman is capable of. So you sort of get a full picture of everything that's going on in her body when you're doing all the various sex demonstrations I show. So thank you for that, Yilmaz. Yeah, and Rage Guy says, how about for a guy who has no experience? Like I said, the stuff at the very, very beginning of the course, perfect for a guy with no experience. Because here's the thing. Knowing your way around a woman's body, there is no better signal of pre-selection than that. Because if you know your way around a woman's body, if you can give a woman pleasurable feelings by pressing the right buttons in certain places in certain ways, this sub-communicates without you saying a fucking word that you have been with women before. So if a guy doesn't have any experience in the bedroom and he watches this video course, he's going to come across like some kind of Lothario. He's going to come across like some kind of Casanova who's bedded hundreds of women because he's going to know what the hell he's doing. He might be a bit nervous, don't get me wrong. He might be a bit nervous the first couple of times. But once he starts implementing this stuff, he is going to be miles ahead of the competition. Caesar, thank you very much for the kind review again, sir. First book, worth the buy 100%. This video course will be worth the buy 100%, no doubt. A guy in the industry teaching this kind of stuff, he has the receipts. Thank you very much, sir. I do have the receipts, but it's not just my experience in the adult film industry. It's also my experience working as a high-class male companion and my experience in the swinging scene, because you don't get to this kind of knowledge of this stuff. You don't get to be able to break this down without a tremendous amount of experience with different women. Because that's the key thing here, is that I've had sex with lots of different women in different contexts, and I'm able to connect the dots and recognize the patterns again and again and again for what works, for how to read their body language properly, how to execute these things properly in a, especially when it comes to the more extreme sex acts that I'll go over. So things like slapping, choking, BDSM bondage, floggers, riding crops, paddles, like all this kind of stuff. You need the experience to know what to do and what not to do, so that you come across congruent. Because that's another important thing here, is that you need to come across very congruent when you're trying to be dominant in the bedroom. Because you might have some doubts in the back of your mind about, oh, is she going to like this? Am I going to be able to do this properly? Look, keep that in the back of your mind. Don't show it, right? Because congruency is the alignment of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. When those three things are in perfect alignment, you are a congruent person. So if you want to come across as dominant in the bedroom, then you're doing dominant things, you're saying dominant things, and you're thinking dominant thoughts. You're in that dominant frame of mind. Okay? So, but the beautiful thing here is that feedback loop goes both ways. So if you're doing something dominant, it reinforces the dominant frame of mind. So if you're a guy who isn't very naturally dominant, by doing the things in this video course, you're going to subconsciously be programming your mind to be a more dominant man. It's inevitable. You can't avoid that. Especially when you're doing things I'm going to show you. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Thank you very much, Yilmaz. So there's a couple of things here. So I do cover, in my ebook, I cover a lot of stuff on lasting longer, like a lot of different techniques on stronger erection, longer lasting erections, and avoiding premature ejaculation. I cover that in detail in my ebook. In this video course, this being in control and leading the sexual interaction is one of the ways that you can prolong a sexual session. And a lot of the stuff I show in this video course has nothing to do with your penis, as a matter of fact. A lot of the stuff I show in this has nothing to do with your dick. So if you're a guy who is either, he's growing his appendage, if you want to know how to grow your penis, check out my ebook. If you're in the process of still growing it, so you're still a smaller guy, or you're still getting over your premature ejaculation issues, cool, work on them, get my ebook, fix those problems. While you're working on those, you can apply the lessons I teach in this video course and rock a girl's world without even touching her with your dick. Before you've even put it in, she's already screaming out your goddamn name. Then when you put your dick in, you just have a bit of fun. So you don't... this is sort of a next layer to that kind of stuff. So good question there, Wonders. Thank you very much, Deanne. Very glad to hear it. Welcome to Sexual Dominance Escalation. Yeah, very not safe work material. Do not open this at your office. Well, unless you work from home, in which case go right ahead. But don't, for the love of God, do not watch this. Do not watch this in public. Do not watch this at work. Do not watch this on like a school library. Because here's the thing, like I said before, this is the world's first no bullshit sex education course for men. So I'm not lying in this thing. I'm not pussyfooting around the truth. I'm telling you guys exactly what works with women. I'm not pretending that women are these delicate flowers who don't like to be roughed up and fucked by a wild barbarian. I'm telling you the truth. And unfortunately, in this day and age, the truth tends to be a bit uncomfortable for most people to swallow. So, if you're watching this around people who aren't enlightened like you and I are, they might think this is a bit off. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything you shouldn't be doing in this video course. Everything I'm saying is above board. But just be aware. There's some extreme things in this video course that I demo. Well, not extreme for me, but extreme for the average guy. So don't watch it in a library. Yes, Delphine, you can definitely watch it in the bathroom. Yes, 100% you can watch it in the bathroom. I am currently in the kitchen, actually. I'm not. It might look like I'm sitting on a toilet right now. I've just realized this. It probably looks like I'm sitting on a toilet. I can promise you, this is a chair. This is not a toilet, all right? Where do we get to? Skull, thank you very much, Thor. Greg, thank you so much for the review. This is a great live stream, guys. I'm seeing all these great reviews, and it's Christmas Day. What a gift to me. You guys have just given me, this is like the third review I've seen in the chat today. That is probably the best Christmas present I could have ever asked for, is getting these kind words from you guys, reviews for my book. Greg says, bought the first book and it was gold. No doubt this one will be platinum. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Who wants to see some demos? I know I want to show them to you. So let's get stuck into some of these previews, shall we? Let's get rid of that really quickly. And I'll bring up some teaser clips. Which ones did I want to play today? Let's start with something that is on the vanilla end. Right, I'm gonna show you two different things. One, I'm gonna show you something that's on the very, very low scale, and then I'm gonna show you something that's sort of kind of like a little bit above that, right? And then on Wednesday we'll go a bit harder, and on Friday next week, so not Wednesday, so Monday we'll go a little bit higher up the scale, and on Friday next week we'll show you some more extreme stuff. Okay, and you're getting all this for free, guys. And these are just a tiny fraction of what is in this video course. So let's open this one up. There we go. Now you guys should, let me just share my screen. I want to make sure you guys can see this and hear this properly. We will share my entire screen. Boop. Excellent. Just making sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see that. All right, I'm going to go full screen mode here. And I'm going to, boom. There we go. Okay, let's have a quick look at this one. Let me know if the audio comes through fine on this one. I'm just going to jack it up just in case. So there's a couple things you'll notice here. So first things first, I'm leading her through the door. An important thing to take note of. I'm holding her by the hand and leading her through the door here. Second thing you'll notice, as I'm about to throw her up against the wall here, or against the door here rather, see where my hand went? My hand went behind her head. There's a reason for that. That is so I can push her against the door or the wall or whatever I'm pushing her against with force without smacking her head and hurting her. So I'm able to because my hand's taking the brunt of the pain there, right? Or brunt of the impact, rather. So I can push her against the wall in a relatively forceful manner, dominant manner, without actually causing any pain, without adding any sort of awkwardness to the interaction as well. Because you bring a girl home from a date, you crack her head against the door, she's going to be like, ow, and it's going to ruin the mood, right? So it's a very, very subtle but very important detail there. Then a quick make out, and then an example of coquetting here. I break it off and I walk away, and then she follows. So that's a perfect example of coquetting. So that's the first example there, guys. Let's switch back to me really quickly. Let's get that out of the way. Do you guys see that? I hope that came through. Where do we get to? Bam. Okay, I'm assuming that you guys could see it. Give me some ones in the chat if you were able to see that and hear that clearly. I want to just double check before I move on to the next clip. So give me some ones in the chat just so I know that you could see and hear that clearly. If you couldn't, let me know. just want to double check that the audio and the video came through fine on that. Okay, excellent. Brilliant. Art and such a small detail, but that's the key thing here. That's the point, guys. There is a lot of detail in this video course. That is like one clip, one tiny 2 minute. This is a 5.5 hour course, and that was 2 minutes of a 5.5 hour course. Brandon Daniels, damn, that clip was hot. Well, thank you very much. I do this professionally. So, first of all, glad that came through right. Excellent. Oh yes, and while we're at it, smash that like button. I keep forgetting. Yeah, thank you, the Black Sheep. Thank you for reminding everyone. Smash that like button, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe because, like I said, I'm going to be dropping 2 more live streams in the next week with more demo footage of this stuff, and you guys are going to love it. So check it out. And if you're already keen to buy the course, the link is in the description below. What I'll also do is I will drop the link right now in the chat for everyone as well. If you want to get the pre-order 50% discount right now, that's where you can get it at. If you're watching this on the replay, it is in the link. The link is in the description below as well. But please smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like I said. Look at that. I've showed you one clip and you guys are already impressed. Look at this. Okay, wow, this is a freaking great tip. Thank you very much. Okay, good to hear that. I had to increase the audio a tad bit. Yeah, I think for some reason when I play these clips, it plays through my laptop rather than through the speaker. I'll have to try and find a solution around that for the next time. Zomboy, really quickly, yes, it is, and I did it. If you go, obviously these will be pictures of my penis, but if you go to stirlingcooper.com/proof, I show my before and after pics of my own appendage. And if you want to learn how to do what I did and increase the girth and the length of your penis, then check out my ebook. That is also in the description below. If you want to check that out. I don't recognize your name, so I assume you're kind of new to the channel. So welcome. Excellent. So there you go. Thank you very much, Heavy Hands. This will be a very good investment. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Like I'm condensing like over a decade's worth of philandering, professional philandering, into this video course. The whole point of it is to download my brain into yours, right? So there's so much bullshit sex advice flying around on the internet. Like if a guy today types in to Google like how to make a woman orgasm, how to do this, like any kind of sex advice, you know what kind of shit he gets? I've done a live stream on this in the past. The kind of advice he gets is do the dishes and then she'll give you a blowjob. No. No, that's a terrible fucking idea. Don't do that. So that's why I'm saying this is a no bullshit sex education course for men. I go into tremendous detail on this, and it's, like I said, it's like about a decade's worth of philandering experience. I'm downloading it from my brain into yours so you can avoid all this crappy advice that is flying around on the internet, get the real stuff, get what actually works, level up your bedroom game, keep women coming back through your bedroom like a rotating door, and then you don't have to worry so much about, constantly sourcing chicks or having girls leave you and having girls cheat on you. Look, here's the other thing here, guys. Like when you get this stuff down, you just exude this aura. Like and any guy who's sort of, got experience under his belt with chicks will know this, that if you're confident in your ability as a man in the bedroom, if you're confident in your ability to make a girl orgasm, like your way around her body better than she does, that's a vibe that you give off. And women pick up on that. Especially if you put, like, when you talk to a girl, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I can make you come in about 12 different ways, you silly, silly girl. You don't know what kind of trouble you're getting into. You're thinking that in the back of your head. She is feeling that, and it really amps up your confidence, and it really starts to, like, women start to see you as the guy they're going to cheat on their boyfriends with. Not saying you should do that, guilty as charged, but that's the kind of confidence these skills give you, Yeah, exactly right. Blue pill sex advice. Yep. Yes, absolutely, Reg guy. I'm gonna show you a couple more. I'm gonna show you a couple more. Yeah, you're going to ask, is this unteachable? No. So actually, a good question. I'm glad you raised this, Eltar. So right now, so you can pre-order on Gumroad. Gumroad's where it is for sale. It launches. The product will be released to everybody on January the 3rd. What is going to happen? I'm currently getting my my website redesigned specifically to host this video course because it shows things of a sexual nature. Because it actually shows real life sex, I can't host the videos on Gumroad. So I am hosting them on my own website. And when you buy the course on January the 3rd, everyone will be given access. You'll be given private login details, your own personal login details, so you can watch them on my stirlingcooper.com website, which is getting redesigned right now. So that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked it. So that's where the course materials will be. They will not be, it's several gigabytes of video footage. It's a bit too large to email, a bit different to an ebook. So I had to find a solution to hosting it, and hosting it in a place where it wouldn't get me completely banned either. Because if I put this on Gumroad, if I put the actual videos on Gumroad, they would definitely ban me. So they don't need to know what's in the course. Wink, wink. Just keep that between you and me. Let's keep going through this, shall we? There you go. So I just checked stirlingcooper.com/proof, and that's crazy. Is that? Yeah, that's my dick. Yeah, you can. Here's the thing. You can look like it's very easy for you to verify that is my penis because I am a porn star and my dick is on the internet everywhere. There is a million photos of my naked body on the internet, so you can verify that is my wang from multiple angles. Go right ahead. You don't have to do that research, but if you want to, you're welcome to. Let's. Who wants to see another clip? Let's get some ones. Drop some ones in the chat and smash that like button if you want to see another clip. Because I am keen to show you guys some stuff. If you guys want to see them, I will drop them now. Where we get to? Let's just prep this other clip for us. Boom. So the way this, excellent. Good to see some ones in the chat. Good, Chad. Good to see you in the chat again, mate. Good to have you. Dave's Pepsi. Good to see you. So what I'm going to show you right now is a bit of the intro footage. Right now, I'm going to show you this clip, and then I'll show you the other clip following up, another demo straight afterwards. But I want to show you this because the first 3 modules of this course are me sort of explaining what I'm going to be teaching you guys. The third module goes over female anatomy. This is a brief chunk out of the first module, and then modules 4 through 7 are the actual demo footage being broken down in like real life demos, and then me explaining them. So, like you saw in the previous footage, see how I'm like sitting there in the corner. What you'll get is the actual. I structured it so I played the clip first. So, for example, that make out up against the wall clip. As you're going through the video course, you'll see that demo first without me commenting, and then you'll see me pop up in the corner and break down everything that's going on in that particular clip, and as I play it again in the background. So that's how the whole course is basically structured, with the exception of a couple of demos where I'm actually doing them and talking to the camera as we were filming. There's a few which tend to be a bit longer and a bit more in detail. So I did those all as I was, doing the real demonstration on these girls. There was something else I wanted to mention there. No. Anyway, let's show you. Yeah, Greg, go ahead. Please turn that into a t-shirt. I would happily stock that in my Gumroad store. It's very easy to identify my penis because I'm a porn star. Damn right, you turn that into a t-shirt, man. Turn it into a t-shirt and I'll give you some of the commission. Anyway. So this is just an example of the first chunk of this video course and kind of how I introduce you guys to the concepts I'm talking about. Let's add that. Let's go there. Boop. And now you should be able to see. Excellent.
So, how do you add the various sexual techniques I'm about to teach you to your personal sex life? Well, in this video course, I'm going to teach you 3 different methods of progressing yourself in the area of sexual dominance. And these 3 methods, I'm going to go into them in detail over the next few slides, are the 0 to 100 scale, being the first one, the second one being progressions, and the third one being stacks. Now, what we're doing in all of these 3 methods, what we're really doing, the core concept underlying all of them, is the idea of building a sexual compliance ladder. For those of you who might not be familiar with this concept of a compliance ladder, it's a psychological concept. It's actually based in sales psychology, oddly enough. But it kind of lends itself to any form of human compliance. So the concept being that as you say, another way that people refer to this is a yes ladder. That's another way of labeling this principle. It's basically as you say yes or comply with certain acts from somebody, you are more inclined to say yes or comply with future acts, future requests of that same person, from that same person. So, but the principle being that you start off with the simplest, most mundane act that is going to have the least resistance. So you start off small and slowly progress your way to bigger, better, more demanding things. So this is the idea of a sexual compliance ladder.
Let's jump back into the stream here. Oh, there I am. Yeah, so that's a really core concept of this entire product, is building a sexual compliance ladder with a woman. And like I said in the video, there's 3 ways that I'm doing it. So one is that scale, the 0 to 100 scale that I talked about before. The second one is the idea of progressions. So in this video course, I give you go through about 7 different example progressions. So what do I mean by progression? So it's, say you have a specific end goal in mind, and one that guys often ask me about is anal sex, right? Say, for example, your end goal is, I want to fuck a girl in the butthole. That's the end goal. What I do is I break down, okay, well, here's how you can baby step a girl who's never done anal sex before, who might be sort of a bit apprehensive about anal sex. Here's the steps you can take her through, this sexual compliance ladder you can walk her through to get her to the point where she's amenable and open to the idea of anal sex and is actually really enjoying anal sex. So that's one example of a progression. And then the third thing I talk about in the course is this idea of stacks. And what a stack is basically, it's kind of what I do when I'm filming porn, in a way. It's me taking a handful of these different concepts from various points on the ladder and kind of melding them all together at the same time. So with the progressions, a progression isn't something that happens in the one sex session. A progression, say for example, getting a girl to be keen on anal sex, is something that happens over the course of several sexual interactions, right? So first date, second date, third date, fourth date, whatever, right? As you progress along, you eventually get to this point. A stack is when you're combining all these different elements on top of one another in that same moment. And unfortunately, I can't show an example of that on YouTube. There's actually only a few things I can show on YouTube as teaser clips, and they tend to be the ones that are a little bit more tame, because the other ones have titties and ass in them. So I would get banned, unfortunately. And I want you guys to see this. But let's get stuck. I'll show you the last clip I'm going to show you today. It's going to be this next one. And it is going to be... here we go. Alrighty. So this is my breakdown of actually, and I had to cut a bit of this. So this is my breakdown of hair pulling technique, and I had to actually cut a bit out of this because I go through 3 demonstrations. I go through the correct way to, like, I go through pulling a girl's hair from the back, from the front, and in the middle of sex, and I had to cut out the bit which was the sex portion because this is YouTube. Boo. So this isn't the entire breakdown, but it is a good chunk of it. So I hope you guys can enjoy this bit as well. Let's have a quick look. Share the screen here. Excellent, excellent. Cool. And let's go live with that.
So here we're showing the correct way to pull a girl's hair. Now, there's a bit of tact here. So you'll notice that, you notice where I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing up. I'm starting at the base of her scalp, and I'm pushing up to grasp the hair in my hands like that. And then I actually have a lot of control there over her head. And this is actually a very pleasurable feeling for her. It's a pleasurable feeling, and it's a submissive feeling. She knows I'm in control. I can actually move her around. And it sends a lot of women into this very euphoric headspace, like straight away. That's how you do it from the back, and then this is how you do it from the front. Again, very subtle, and then bang. I can pull her head back, make her stare me right in the eyes. She knows who's in charge here. Now, in the next example here, the next example is a little bit exaggerated, but this is how some guys kind of pull their hair, just like grab tufts of it.
This is an example of the incorrect technique, but I kind of, well, to a degree, kind of incorrect technique, and I elaborate a bit more here. I didn't mention that before, but I wanted to mention it now.
Obviously, she's overacting here a bit, but there is a time and a place to do that kind of hair pull, or like, and you know, you can do this sort of when she's mushed down onto the bed in doggy style, for example. If you just like grabbing a scrunch of hair then, and then turning and making out with it, that makes sense. But if you're trying to pull her hair erotically, just grabbing a random tuft and tugging her head around, that shows a lack of experience, that shows a lack of tact if you're trying to do it erotically, right? So there's a distinction here. There is a time and a place for doing something like that if she's the kind of girl who likes to be completely manhandled and completely tossed around, and actually kind of likes pain to a degree, then sure, this kind of way of pulling a girl's hair, like just wrangling her like a rag doll, there is a context for that, but you need to be able to read the girl when she's kind of into that. And like I said, I would prefer to sort of grab her hair like that when I'm mushing her into the bed somewhere.
Alrighty. So that is a portion of the breakdown of my hair pulling technique. The other portion is a demo during sex. So like I said, I can't actually show you that on YouTube because they're lame. Anyway, yes, Delphini, that is the lovely Chloe Cherry. That is all the models in. So there's 4 models. The two that I use in this video course. The 2 main models that I use in my video course are that girl, Chloe Cherry, and Lola Faye. You'll see some demos of Lola Faye stuff in the next week. And then I have, for one thing, I have Sidra Sage, and for another thing, I have Samantha Mack. So I have 4 different porn stars in this video course, which I demo on. Because they're fun to work with, basically. And I got to pick who I wanted to work with. So, sue me. Let's keep going. Yeah, her acting wasn't the best in that. I told her, look, I'm gonna demonstrate how to like pull hair badly, and so she just pulled that face of like, all right, fine. Not the greatest actor in the world, but what are you gonna do? For the rest of the course, I basically had to remind these girls all day, like, don't act. I want to see genuine reactions on your face. And to do that, I had to basically not tell them what I was about to do for most of the part, and then do it to them, and then you get a genuine reaction out of them. That's kind of how you do it in porn. Brandon, well, look, do you teach us how to achieve that godlike seducing gaze? Unfortunately, that cannot be taught. That is something that God has blessed me with. I can't help you. No, but eye contact is a big part of this. And a large part of DJ Fig, thank you very much. This is gold. Very, very happy to hear that. A large part of this course is going to be kind of learning through osmosis, right? Because so if you're a guy who's a bit more inexperienced, you've never really come across as a very dominant guy in the bedroom, you're going to see exactly how I do it. And you can come up with your own style, but there's the old saying of fake it till you make it. You can actually start to emulate a bit of my style, because I sure as hell have emulated other guys in the past. Guys who I know are very, very dominant in the bedroom, men in my profession. I've taken elements from them and applied that to my own sort of style in the bedroom. But you can eventually obviously you'll be borrowing from me, and then you can find your own style and what suits you and what works for you. So for me, though, eye contact's a big part of my sort of seductive process and me dominating a girl. And I think it's very important for guys to learn to give strong eye contact in the bedroom. In fact, that's one of the points in my free ebook, The 5 Subtle Mistakes Men Make in the Bedroom. I drill home the importance of eye contact in that ebook. So for those of you guys who might be a bit, apprehensive, a bit shyer about making eye contact, I am in this context, like that example I showed, but you're facing a girl, you're grabbing her by the back of the head, and you're pulling her hair back. These moments are perfect for landing some really good eye contact and putting a cheeky smile on your face. That subcommunicates to her, hey, honey, daddy's in charge now. Gets them fucking wet. Gets them so goddamn wet. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Zomboy, where'd we go? Zomboy says James Dean's very dominant. That is correct. He is very dominant. And Marlon has said Rocco. Yes, both of these guys are very, very dominant guys. Yep. I do not, Henry, to answer your question, I do not kiss and tell. So you will not be seeing any of those kinds of behind the scenes interactions from me. Not while I'm on holiday. Not while I'm not being paid to do it. No, sorry. Anyway, so that's the free previews I have for you today, guys. Like I said, I'll drop the link in the chat one more time. So the link in the chat right now is where you can grab the video course. It's on pre-order right now for $398. It's 50% off. On January the 3rd, it goes live. The price doubles. It goes up to $799. That's the full price. It will not go down after that. So if you want it, get it now while it's at 50% off. Pre-order it today. I'm going to be doing some more demos on Monday and on Friday. You can see some more of that stuff, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of testimonials from guys who've already had a chance to watch the entire course. There is a lot of great stuff in here. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have had a bit of fun with this on your Christmas morning, Christmas afternoon, Christmas evening, wherever you are around the world. And as always, smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, give me a subscribe, and I will see you guys on Monday. So, Merry Christmas to all of you, and you take care, all right?